What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development livestream. We're back in our gas course project. A game built from scratch, of course, using Unreal Engine 5, C++, blueprints, and the gameplay ability system plugin. So today we're going to try to accomplish two things, ideally. I want to work on and create two Anim notify states. One for adding and removing a gameplay tag, so when you're on the track, you add it and then you remove it when the notify ends. And then the other one is to be able to make basically runtime adjustments to the play rate based off a curve. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that now. So of course we're going to need to be doing this in C++. So let's go ahead and create a... I also just noticed that my music probably was way too loud, so sorry for that. So we're going to create some Anim notify state today. So let's go ahead and get started. So we'll go to Tools, New C++ class. We could do Anim notify state. And we'll say GSE for notify state. How did I name other classes? I have other classes that are notify states, right? I can my melee traces, those heading shapes, yeah. So something underscore notify state. So we could say add gameplay tag notify state public game animation maybe. Where would be the best place for this? No. Where would be the best place for this then? Maybe ability system. Maybe here is okay. Let's try it out. This one should be relatively quick, I'm hoping. And the main benefit, really, what we're trying to accomplish is to be able to label within our animation notify tracks just ways to add gameplay tags dynamically so we can make adjustments at runtime there. You could maybe make iframes in this case. You could just label certain things that way, so you can always query, hey, this is the part of the dodge that I'm in, or during the attack, or something like that. So that's ultimately our goal. So we'll see how far we can go today with these two things. Right, so here is our header. I also bought more RAM this week. I hopefully will get it tomorrow. I bought two 48 gig sticks, so pray to God that they are compatible. I'm not very good about doing my proper research before buying these things and end up messing it up half the time. So yeah, let's jump into the parent class. We need to grab these guys. Probably don't need tick, but we can always just delete it. And of course, yeah, writer is shitting its pants. Which is okay. It's okay to shit your pants sometimes. So yeah, let's bump those in. Then we don't need the engine API. And then I'll make another public section here. And we'll put our variables, which really can only really be the gameplay tag container. So right now this is chugging. Edit anywhere, blueprint, read, write. I don't know if we want to write it. We'll do blueprint. Read only, category, gameplay tag. Sure. And then F, gameplay tag container. Also make sure we have that include. Good. Tags. Do that, of course. Don't like that at all. Alright, tags to apply to the owner of the animation. I think that's good. Okay, great. Again, we don't really need tick. Should just need to do begin and end. So let's generate this stuff. Oh no. Why is it generated like that? I don't know why it was generating it within the header file for some reason. Okay, so what do we got to do? We could say, you know, if gameplay tags. Probably would want to make this something better. So gameplay tags to add. If it's empty, we want to say, probably want to log. So we log. Maybe make a log category for funsies, but for now let's log temp. Warning. Text. Let's say empty tag. Consider removing. And it's like, I don't need a period here, I need a comma. And then it's get path namespace. This. That should be okay. And then turn. Then I would say a gas course character. I can move this into an F. So we could say mesh comp get owner cast so if this is blah 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 blah, then we can say well, I guess I don't really have to check for an ability system component. I could do it to add loose gameplay tags. Maybe I can also add a new property for if we want it replicated, because that's another parameter. Set it to false by default. Let's see. AI will generate better documentation this time. Okay. Then I could say like owning character and then add loose. Or is it like do ability system? Is it? Yeah, blueprint library, I think. Add loose gameplay tags. So we do owning character, gameplay tags to add, and then B duplicate tags. Now this should be a boolean, right? Yeah. So oops. I guess this else isn't really needed. And then we could say tags failed to be added to in that. And we could say or I guess I could do, but get path owning character. Is that valid? We'll find out if that's valid or not. So if it's empty, we're throwing a warning, and then say okay there. I think that's okay. Maybe I could have like an internal bool, private B tag. Whoops. B gameplay tag. Got right. Bool B gameplay tags added successfully. False. And I could just use this as well. I could, in theory, say like that. But then I can say here on notify end, I can say so if, and then I can and do something like this. Then maybe I can have the same thing here. Maybe it's too much. Maybe it's not enough. order. Okay, that seems pretty good. Yeah, it's a very simple notify state. Maybe it's worth giving it its own logging thing, but maybe not. Let's compile that. Maybe we should add like a validator of some sort. Maybe it's not necessary either. So let's hope we got this correct on the first try. Nope. Awesome. Okay, I'm missing a parentheses there. Parentheses there. And a bracket there. Okay. We're kind of close. Just kind of simple syntax errors. That's not too bad. Okay, so we compiled successfully. And we'll have two use cases we're going to check against. We'll put an example inside of the one of the player melee animations to confirm that it works, and then we'll also do it on one of the on the dummies hit reactions. As long as they're there and get removed there, I think we should be okay. But that we should be able to work on the time warping one. I'm starting to make it more of a habit to use this ClickUp application, or website, I should say. I'm making myself tickets and trying to track things a little bit better. It's like work away from work, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm trying to build these habits and hopefully make myself a better developer in general. And luckily AI does a lot of this like nonsense stuff. You know, it can generate subtasks and it can like do summaries and things like that. Okay. Man, I really hope getting more RAM is going to make this computer behave a little bit better. Maybe I need to restart it more often. I try to restart it every couple of days, but maybe it's not good enough. I also got these new headphones. They're wireless. The other headphones I had, like, it just kind of disintegrated on my head. I don't know how long I had those headphones for, at least 2 years, so hopefully I got, like, money's worth. And yeah, I also got a new asset pack for, like, the dynamic skies and stuff like that. So I also updated the camera a little bit, pulled it in a little closer. So curious what you guys think of, like, the kind of closer perspective. I still have concerns about my FPS and everything. Like I have a fairly simple scene, and I'm getting 60 to 70 FPS. And obviously, when I start hitting shit, FPS drops like into like the 30s for like a frame, and I have no idea why. So we got some stuff to be concerned about. And I also have to fix this bug where like if you attack too close, the rotation warp gets all messed up. A lot of different bugs to work out, but we'll figure it out. Hey, Cena Strikes, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. How's life going? So yeah, let's go into our melee. Let's go into one of these animations. We'll do the first attack. Let's just put an example. Notify state. So add gameplay tag notify state. So we'll do it here to here. Our gameplay tag, tags to add, replicated tags. How are you? What the objective? We're gonna be creating hopefully two Anim notify states today. One is just a gameplay tag notify state where it will add tags and remove tags on notify begin and notify end, so we can label and mark up animations any way that we may want. So I'm just gonna do test state tree tag 2, for example. So let's go to this, let's debug our ability tags. So we can see that it does work. You guys can't really see it too well, but we have test state tree dot tag 2. And then as we finish, it gets there. And just to confirm as well, let's make sure it gets removed when we blend out of it. Seems good to me. I don't like this dips in performance when I'm hitting this guy. Kind of crazy that it like sometimes drops so much. But yeah, we know that that's working, so let's remove that. And yeah, let's go to the hit reactions here. Is there like a hit? Yeah, so there's multiple potential hit reactions that he could be playing, so we're just gonna have to double check to get this one. So let's just add it like here. We'll do the same one, state tree or test.state tree.tag 2. Also have visualization. I want to do circular end. Should work better. So let's see if we get the tags. So obviously he doesn't have any tags on him at the moment. I hit him. So he has hit reaction dot hit. There's the test state tree dot tag 2, and yeah, it gets added and removed correctly. Whoa, we got some raiders from Ninja Nino. Thank you so much. How's it going? Thanks for popping in. All right, so we got that working. So yeah, we gotta remember to take that out. Maybe we'd have to. I'll have to eventually start profiling this. It's like doing simple hit reactions and hits should not tank the performance that bad, and I don't think it's really this level. No alertion, no bound. Oh, I gotta not do initialization, or I add it to the character and then blueprint. But for now, it's whatever. Let's move on. Like potential. Oh, did I remove that? No, I didn't. Maybe a potential good idea is to, write the tag on the timeline as well, like on the notifying. but maybe it's not necessary. Maybe I'm just overthinking that. So what is next? Yeah, so the time warping notify I want to do next. And, I don't know. I do want to profile that. That's really bothering me. Unless I broke something with like the NVIDIA panel or something. All right, I'll try to look at that off stream, I think. Enjoy your stream. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Try the best we can. So yeah, let's work on our time warp notify. So let me get rid of that. So tools, new class. Whoop. I pressed the wrong button. So now we sit here. I was also trying to get my PlayStation controller to work. But it doesn't really work with Unreal for some reason without a... I think of some sort of plugin. Hey, thanks for the follow, Narely. Much appreciated. How you doing? Okay, so the project looks like it refreshed, so let's fix this. We don't need Fab open. So tools, C++ class, Anim notify state. So GSC time warp notify state. And maybe I could put this in with the other plugin there. So systems, subsystems, time dilation, Anim notify. Put it there, call it there. Going fine, wandering a bit before going to sleep. Well, you found the right place to wander on. Do you have plans to release on consoles? I don't think so. Like, I have no idea what the scope of this project's really going to be. I'm just taking it day by day, trying to learn and try to have fun. And, you know, it's easiest, obviously, to just release on PC, because, you know, every PC is a dev kit at that point. So we'll see. No pressure one way or the other. I watch your YouTube replays during work to learn gameplay structures and stuff in UE. Awesome. Thanks for the support on that. Hopefully you're learning stuff. You know, half the time I'm struggling as I'm going. So hopefully there's still tidbits of information that's passed along that way. So any feedback, any support, much appreciated. So thanks for saying it out loud. So yeah, we're going to do a lot of similar stuff here. We're going to need to grab notify tick, notify begin. So we're going to grab that. We're also going to grab... I need to remember the name of that kind of curve I want to work with. Because yeah, this specific curve, you can see it in force feedback. Basically this type of curve, right? So we can maybe look at force feedback effect. Are we gonna get a crash? That seems okay. So force. Yeah, I think we're gonna crash. So let's let it crash. In the meantime, let's just look at the force feedback. Now, is there... There is a force feedback effect. Device properties, channel details. There is force feedback channel details. This contains a runtime float curve, so that's what I need. Then yeah, we'll do public view property curve. Yeah, we'll say time warp curve for the sake of consistency here. Then yeah, edit anywhere blueprint read only category curve. And then I think there's a constructor in this, right? What did I do? I can't remember if there's a constructor. There is also should fire an editor. We'll probably want to use that. Draw an editor, should fire an editor, blah blah blah. Editor comment, think about it, blah blah blah. I am assuming I can make a constructor. So can't remember if that's how you properly do that. Because what we'll want to do is put some default values in the constructor of this thing. So I forget what we might need to do. So editor to curve data, and then is there yeah, add key. We're gonna add a key at 1 second. With a value of 1. We'll just do 1 like that. So this should default it to just have a simple curve, like that's a single line. And then we can do a couple things for safeguarding purposes. We could say, so if time warp curve, I need editor curve data. So keys. So we can do, yeah. So will not process. I don't know if we'll need a return or anything. Man, I'm trying to think what else we need to do. Because essentially we then need to kind of, what I'll do first is just print out the curve over time. So let's say, because I don't know if I want to use normal delta time or the frame delta time. So we're gonna have to see. So let's just log this stuff. So GUI log temp. We don't want to see time warp ticked, but we want to say curve value equals, and then it's gonna be a float, and we can say what? So time warp curve dot editor curve data. Now is there like get value? Or do I have to say like time or curve dot maybe get rich curve? And then dot, is there a get? There's still get default value. So what is the rich curve get? There is a get float value. Why is that not? Do I have to... include time warp curve, maybe? Can't remember. So time warp curve dot curve. I don't want to add a key or anything. External curve, get like. So what can I evaluate this rich curve at the specific time? Should be a way to read that. So how to get value from rich curve at certain time. Ow. Okay, so that's a default value. So we could say, so how do I now get... I'll need to compile, I think, just so I can read some stuff into blueprints. So let's see if what we just did will even compile. It should be okay. Oh, no, it's not going to be okay. Let's just comment that out too. Probably still going to fail, but... Ah, right. Gotta get rid of the engine stuff there. Let's try that one more time. So it should work. At least get us to the end. Because like what I need to remember is how to get the value. You should be able to get the current time, I think. And then we gotta... So basically what we're going to be doing... There's going to be like a discrepancy between, you know, what the user will put in for this curve versus like the length of the notify. So I basically gotta I think at runtime maybe it'll be what I would need to do is maybe I can adjust the second key or the last key to be. I feel like I just gotta compress the curve to match the length of the notify state. Because you could have a curve that goes from 0 to 1 in 1 second, but then their notify state is like 3 seconds. So at that point, I would imagine you'd expect it to go from 0 to 1 in 3 seconds. So let's just see what this looks like in an editor. Okay. So let's go into one of our animations. I also I think this is a blueprint, right? Yeah. I want to see real quick. I should be able to get like time. So get current animation state, time, and ratio. So yeah, like I would need to do this, right? But yeah, let's look. Time warp. This, and we have a curve, right? And yeah. So 1 and 1 and 2 and 1. So obviously that doesn't make sense because we're not really starting at 0, so I already kind of fucked that up. So we gotta go to 0 to 1 like that. And then I should now be able to say, get current animation notified to state time. I think that's a function in the U Anim notify state library or something. There should be some functions I can read through. So get current animation notified state frame. This one. We want to do that, and then we get current animation state time, and it takes an event reference. So we could say float current animation state time equals that. Then I should, in theory, be able to say, float curve eval like that. Take this. Maybe do something like that. Let's do that. We don't need it. So let us do a hot reload. Maybe it's the fact that I'm giving it a warp location that's gonna fucking it up. At least for the rotation. I'm kind of changing subjects real quick. I just want to see if it because I have this bug where you go too close, yeah, you rotate the wrong way. facing. Does default do anything different? It's probably gonna fuck up every time, but yeah. Also, like, I'm not really doing anything. Like, I'm telling it to rotate. So, like, passing in this information shouldn't even be required. Okay, I guess it is. Oh, whoops. Okay. I gotta make sure I'm passing in both, right? We'll get back to the notify state in a second. Yeah. Then we could potentially have like an offset. Wonder if this is valid. No. Let's look again. Okay. Guess this has to be a negative number. No, that's still all kinds of fucked up. Now I wonder if I make this like 500 in the X. What are the results here? Maybe okay? So it does look fucked up still. Yeah. Now if I pass that offset, does it get fucked up as well? Oh yeah. Maybe I could say... So I'm getting that unit direction. So I definitely want to from me to this enemy. Now it's... Oh, okay, be 150? See, that's where it takes. And I don't know why. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked with motion warping. I want to see what's wrong here. Let's draw arrow. So line start is going to be my location, and the end location is going to be this. It's not going to be pretty, but whatever. Ah. Keep pressing the wrong thing. Let's see. Let's look. All right, I'm seeing the arrow. So I think the offset has to be this direction. Yes, like we definitely don't care. I don't think we do. About the Z. Let's just put 150 gold spots. I know that's gonna be fucked up too, but let's just see. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm taking crazy pills. So yeah, that's also wrong. Like I should end up, you know, not there. Hmm. Do I want to follow the component? It doesn't feel like I'm warping at all. Oh yeah, because I'm not. Oopsie. I'd imagine I go flying, right? Yeah. So we do want to follow the component. Warp rotation offset. Don't think I want any sort of rotation offset. Because I'll say if I put this to 0, right? I go pretty much into the actor, right? Which for all intents and purposes is not too bad, but I want there to be an offset. So how does the warp offset look like? Warp target location offset. Hmm. Let's see if that gets me anything. Yeah. Not really anything useful. Warp, target, location, offset. That didn't bring anything to me. Like the potential thing is because I'm using that follow component thing. I want to. What if I say like get vector forward vector times what results do I get now? I'll see if I do the opposite one. Getting all kinds of fucked up things. Which doesn't really make too much sense. So, yeah, I could always make my life a little easier. This is the rotation. I mean, does this cause any problems if I disconnect that? Because that's rotation. Yeah. Not great. It would be good to know how they're using this warp location offset thing, though. So process root motion, update with context, disable, and create. Yeah, because this one is doing both. I don't know why I got so fixated on this. I want to fix it. Like I'm looking over here, right? I turn, that's all good, but then the warping puts me at a location that doesn't really make sense to me. Draw arrow. Here. Plus. Red arrow. 2 seconds. Right. So it should draw a red arrow. So it's drawing that direction. That's what's confusing me. right? The forward vector of this dummy should be the opposite. Now, is it because this target thing is negative 150? So that's the arrow. And that's where I would think I would end up. So that's what's kind of confusing to me. Like, more target location offset. It's not offsetting me in the place that I would think it would be offsetting me. And I don't think this second one, the second one is rotation only. So like, it won't rotate me immediately until I get to like. So yeah, the whole time I'm just getting messed up results. So I wonder if I shouldn't be following it here. I just don't need to be doing this crap. I should just instead rely on what I was doing before. It'll be okay. Yeah, that more or less looks fine. So maybe we'll just leave it at that. Okay. So let's get back on our grind here. So time warp thing. So we still have. Wait, I think I gotta re-add time warp. Oh gosh, did I add that on the right? Yes, I did. Yeah, so 1 and 1. So let's look at our output log. So we'll run it. We do that. So obviously, current value at 1 is that. So if we were to change this to a value of 0, bring this back, run it again. Do we get a 0 to 1 value? Not really. So let's see what's wrong. Oh no. No, I'm doing that right. Yeah, so I think this was kind of sort of like the problem I was mentioning earlier, just because this is 0.45 seconds, right? And we're going from 0 to 1. So we're really not clamping this down to where it needs to be. So what I think needs to happen is, so we got the current animation time. We basically need to map this value there. So it's like float. So we'll call it mapped curve value equals, say, U Kismet math library map range clamped, and then so the in range is going to be I guess current animation state time. And it's going to go from 0 into a max value. So I need to... So let's see. How to access total duration of anim notify state in notify tick. Because maybe I need to make a variable and just set it inside of notify begin. Okay, so there is there's literally a get duration. There's not a get duration method. Okay, so there is... You can access the duration through the... There's no real way to get duration. Is there end time? No. Guess I'll just do it myself. So private location. Now can I do so float curve time curve length equals time warp curve dot curve dot time get time range. So curve max time curve min time should be able to do something like that, and then so now we're saying curve map curve value, or maybe it should be called like adjusted animation state time. Probably I should make another flag here. So bool be also I could say that. I guess I could just wrap this and be time warp enabled. So yeah, we're gonna have to do a full recompilation. So hopefully now we'll get better values, I guess. Then we still gotta actually adjust the play rate of the animation, so it should hopefully be the next piece of the puzzle. Just assume hopefully things compile successfully. Okay, so we've compiled successfully. Perhaps in the meanwhile, we can try to write the rest of the code here. Now, okay, I don't know if there is something for this. Is there a... Anim, best state, no, notify, library, play rate, or, oh no, I need to get the, I think I have to get the Anim instance as well. I don't know if I should be doing that on tick. I should probably store that as well. To that effect, and then I should be able to say, so like if mesh component no. Nice try. So if mesh component, I want to say instance equals that. Something to that effect, and then I could say maybe like Anim instance, or like montage set play rate. So almost. I'll have to look in Blueprint. Maybe I have to cast a montage. Oops. we'll see. Let's start scratch. I'm getting a bunch of spam. Warning: debug mesh is not valid. Exiting. Why is that spamming like crazy? That's no bueno. We're seeing some values here. So at time here is 1, 1, 1, 1. Now again, if I were to adjust this to 0, 0, I'm hoping we'll get a 0 to 1 value still. Which we seem to do. Let's try one more time just to be sure. Yeah. Looks to make sense. So I think I have to convert this to, let's see if I could say, so you and a montage. So maybe that's okay. Maybe I could say something like, if not, no, I can. I don't know what would be the best way to do this. Maybe I could say something like this, and then I could say, you know, if instance, then I could say like and a montage equals cast. I can wrap that in a if. No, I can't. So it has to be like this. And if then I should hopefully be able to say, you know, Anim montage. So hopefully that all works. While that's going, let's check some stuff off here. So everything is good there. First task complete. We created that gameplay tag notify state. All is kosher there. Now we're working on this create time warp notify state. That into progress. So we're implementing code, testing, design architecture for time warp notify state. Didn't really do much designing, of course, but that in progress. And document code. So document code and usage instructions. We'll have to do that later. And the next stuff that we have to do, it'll be next stream, maybe on Thursday. Is I gotta see why movement speed. The attribute is not modifying the movement character's walk speed correctly, and then we gotta start working on blend spaces for our blocking stance, defensive stance, however we want to call it. And we gotta start making more tasks because I have a backlog of everything. To-do list. And then we gotta start, picking our battles. So I have to start making this. I gotta start making this dummy do stuff, like shoot projectiles or something at the time. Yeah, one thing at a time. Because I also start, I gotta start figuring out damage. Also concerning, like I definitely want to have like a scoring system of some kind. And I don't know if when you kill an enemy, I don't know if there should be some sort of like collectible thing that comes out that you gather and pick up. I don't know if that's really necessary. But yeah, let's. Yeah, it's like. So that more or less works. But the real kind of problem is because we're affecting, the actual play rate. It takes a lot longer than the specified time here. It goes to like a pretty slow crawl. It goes like one. We can always make this value like 2, for example. Say maybe putting it here will demonstrate it better. So yeah, it's like so it makes it feel like there's a stronger wind up. Let's see that in game. So it's like. So in theory, we can say things like, because like we know the attacks come out too slow, for example. So we could say, we go from a value of 1 to like 1.5. At a curve. And then the overall speed of it will be faster. And return back to 1. So I think something that we're missing though is the play rate isn't being returned to 1 at the end. So we gotta make sure we fix that. So we'll need to do. I don't know if we need to store the play rate as well. Float default play rate. the one. Just that. And of course we can override the editor color too, I think, right? Set color. Let's see. Get editor color. And notify color. And this is a F color, right? That should be fine. Yeah, and then at the end, we also gotta say, so default play rate equals Anim montage. Is there like a play rate? No, I have to say Anim instance get play rate. That, and then I can just say something to this effect as well. And we can always just have like a backup. I guess there can't really be a backup. I think that should be okay. Let's see if that compiles. So let's hope this compiles successfully this time. And then I think we should be good. Fingers crossed. Relatively simple. Notify state, assuming it works. And maybe we could try to put together a cool example with like the jump attack, for example. Let's see what the results are. And then I think we can call it a day. Eat that one. Test implementations for controlling information play rate. Progress. And yeah, probably after the stream, I'm gonna restart this computer. Okay. So we're in. Let's just look at our notify state. Let's see if it's red. Let's see. It's red. Cool. And it looks like we returned back to normal speed. So let's see if we go back here. It goes whoop, and then back. Yeah. So it looks fine. So let's look at the jump attack, for example. Is it? Yeah. So for example, let's say we wanted to like extend how long he's in the air for, like. So we could say, you know, the value here is 0.5. So like half the speed is here, so it's like, or maybe even slower, or maybe it starts off at like 0.2. So it goes whoop. So we can see what this looks like. Just so like, I think I like that actually a little better, because you know you press it and you kind of see him for a beat kind of come in and do that, right? So I was like, up, boom, boom. So I think we're making good progress there. And, you know, we might use it for other purposes as well. I don't know just yet. There are times where, you know, the hit is not as consistent as I'd like it to be. Like, we're getting the traces, but yeah. So that's translation. I don't think I had to do it like that. Yeah, that doesn't feel that great either. Maybe I have to do it even sooner. Maybe. Or maybe I have to say like twice. See how that looks and feels. Not good. He kind of just flips and turns around. Maybe I don't need to do rotation in this order. A second, we got a kitty in the background. Oh no. She likes to eat the plants, but I stop her. Go like that, bam. Yeah, that doesn't really feel good. Like sometimes it's fine, other times it's not. So I think we can live with this. So I want to basically, by the time I get to here, so we warp, and then he's like, as soon as he starts to move, is where we want it to kind of happen. Maybe the warp distance has to be bigger because, like, we're further away. Let's go to our ST player. Melee combo base. There is the air attack. There's no min warp distance and all that stuff. So we'd have to update that too, I think, because it seems like we're consistently just checking is within warp distance, right? By default, that is 500. Let's change it to 1,000 for the sake of testing something. Yeah. So I think that's the problem. Like, we're too far. I wonder if that makes more sense in this use case. I wonder if I can get away with making it 3 hits. I don't know. Okay, so we're getting the same problem again where I'm warping behind. So we'll see what we can figure out in 9 minutes. And the problem is this one, right? Now, should the rotation... Like, I'm doing the find, look at rotation between the two actors, and for some reason that gets... Now, maybe the problem is because... I'm not sure why. Let's see what happens with that. Still a problem. The kitty's out of it. Gotta chase her off. It's like, I don't understand why it kind of just spins around like that. Like, do I have to use the distance there? No. Do I have to use like my forward vector? No. That's fine, that's fine. That's not fine, right? Do I have to make this default? Maybe. Now, see, like, that messes up. So it has to be facing. Just has to... Like, what's the rotation having to be? So yeah, instead of it being this, you have to be like, you know, get unit direction vector from me to that, then like add like 1,000, whatever. Rotation X this way. No. still problem. Oh yeah, I'm not putting in the rotation. Let's try that again. Still no. Add or update from component from location. I wonder if I can just do it this way. I just give it a location instead. No. Just to confirm, is it just this? Yeah. Can I can't, I don't want to do both. Like rotation should like really just be that. Like I don't know, like that's a problem. See, yeah, things are like 1,000. That looks fine. That looks fine, but then getting up close and personal, not fine. And like potentially the problem is like maybe the translation thing has to be just 1. So I don't rotate that far, but I'm still gonna get instances where it's gonna look bad, right? Like I'm here. Yeah, right? 0.3. Like I'm needing to just potentially just say, okay, no. Times this 5,000. Like, I'd hope that's okay. And it's not. If I draw a sphere here, where do I get it? Yeah, I get it over there, right? So why am I turning around? Why is the rotation going that way? And if I do minus 5,000, yeah, still turning around. So none of that really makes sense. And if I don't give it any warp rotation, still turning around. Now, is it because the location is behind me? I think that's going to be the case. So that's probably where I'm going to get all derped up. So I'd have to say what? Basically, I'm within range. I basically have to do like a switch off at some point, right? Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I have to say I don't think any of this really matters. Like distance. This might work. But then I really should figure out this. Yeah, that works. So we're switching off the warp target when we're already close enough. So really it's just using the rotation of the location. Okay, but now we're still getting the problem in some cases. So maybe it really is like my best bet to say, use warp follow target component. This seems at least less error prone. I just can't figure out this target location offset for the life of me. This looks fine. And if I get up close, it still looks fine. So it's at the very least consistent. I'm just really getting up in the grill, and I'd like to fix that in some way. So we have 7 minutes left. Let's try to figure this out. Name, location. Location offset. Am I able to say something like no? So what does it say? So whether the target transform is calculated from a component and an optional bone should be updated during the time of the warp. Optional static location offset, only relevant when the warp target is created from a component. So static location offset. So what's the static location offset if I make it 100 in the Z, for example? I don't think it's going to make a difference, but... Right? No. Like, it would be great if this has told me how this offset is calculated. It's like maybe instead of it being the root bone or root component, I have to be like, you know, get component by class, skeletal mesh, and pass that in. Yeah, it's still like giving me some like real derpy shit. So maybe it has to be like 100 in the Y or something. 159, why not? See, like that's giving me decent results, but then I do this, and then like I'm back over here, right? And then I'm over here, and then, you know, it's just overall really wonky. So I'm not confident in how to make sure that's calculated correctly. Hey, Dirch K, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. We're about to wrap up here, so unfortunately you came in at the butt end of the stream, but no worries. So I gotta find out where we're using this location offset within warp. Yeah, something is just not right, and it's frustrating me. I have to do some more research offline. Yeah, now we're getting weird results where we're not ending up where I thought we would as well. Maybe I have to say like minus 100 or something. better. So yeah, we'll have to figure this out next time for sure. I'd like to figure this out, make sure it's as clean as possible. So yeah, I really don't think that needs to be 0, but I don't think we need this translation here or rotation. But yeah, I don't get why we're ending up in the air. Unless we're getting like a weird position. Sorry. One last check here. Location. So where is this? Let's make it small enough to make a difference here. It's right there, right? So why am I warping above? I should be warping to like that location. So that's all sorts of funky. And again, I don't think if I pass this in as well, that won't really matter, will it? Yeah, still fucked up. Bam, bam. Then if I don't do this, that's all okay. Obviously, like, I'm not consistently rotating. Oh, this is turned off in both of them. So this will probably make it feel better. Yeah. So when we do that, then we get back to this problem. So yeah. We're going to have to figure this out. So that's where I'm going to end it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate it. Thanks for those who followed. Thanks for the raid earlier, Ninja Nino. All of that is much appreciated. We're not going to do any raids tonight. There's not that much viewers. But we'll try to stream again on Thursday. Until then, have a good night and see you soon.